There's a real popularity of Broadway, and we really have that audience here.
The Broadway Philadelphia season kicks off at the Academy of Music with newcomer Love Never Dies.
It's the sequel to The Phantom of the Opera.
This story begins 10 years after the action of Phantom of the Opera.
The legacy of one of Broadway's most successful musicals continues with turn-of-the-century Coney Island serving as the backdrop.
It's gigantic and beautiful.
Expect another grand score from Andrew Lloyd Webber and eye-catching action on the stage.
You find out what happens to all your favorite characters.
Philadelphia debuts are always an important part of the Broadway season.
We love bringing in new titles.
Fran Egler curates the Broadway Philly season.
I see everything that opens on Broadway each year.
She is a prominent voice in Philadelphia's theater scene, one of the only locals casting a ballot for the Tony Awards each year.
800 people around the country that do it.
She loves offering new productions, but also prides herself on balancing the season with classics that appeal to a new generation of theater goers.
It's that great mix of what Broadway is. Shows that people want to see again and again.
Return engagements include favorites like Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler's one of the sort of perennial classics of the American musical theater.
It's the story of a Jewish family trying to maintain the religious and cultural traditions amongst outside influences.
The show humanizes these narratives, the story of immigrants and refugees.
The original musical was staged in 1964 and still remains relevant more than 50 years later.
Not divisive, but is unifying.
Another smash hit returning to Philadelphia. The 20th anniversary tour of Rent comes to the Merriam Theater in March.
It's one of the more popular titles out there.
The Tony Award-winning story carries a meaningful message.
It's a play about coming together and how we can all be different and get along.
Cats is back.
Everyone loves it. It's got those 9 lives.
Originally produced in 1981, then revived on Broadway in 2016, this touring production now brings the phenomenon to a whole new audience.
Kids and families that didn't have the chance to see it yet.
For those who like a good laugh.
'Cause God loves Mormons and he wants some more.
It is the funniest show that may have ever been written, ever.
The story from South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone ranges from downright irreverent to undeniably sweet.
It's a message of hope, it's a message of unity, and people really need that right now.
Cody's distinct laugh has been part of the show for nearly a decade.
I think it's what got me the job, probably.
It's a season packed with powerful performances. Spread across 3 of Philadelphia's historic venues, the Merriam Theater, the Forest Theater, and the Academy of Music.
Theater is super important. Opens up conversations, breaks down barriers, and most importantly, it's a release.
The Philadelphia stage is set to bring audiences on another theatrical journey.
That's the great thing about live theater, is that performance on stage, you're a part of it. You have a role to play.
It's a great mix of new shows to Philadelphia and classics that have been here before.
One of those returning to the city is beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Yeah.